Shalom Aleichem, everybody. It's Yaakov Shepherd here from King David's Tomb, KingDavidTheKabbalah.com, and we are in the entrance into the Hoshana Rabbah night, and after Hoshana Rabbah we have Simchat Torah. So I want to give you a few understandings, few foundations to connect and relate and experience those coming days in a greater understanding and connection, and to increase the potential of those days for you with the help of Hashem. So let's start with Hoshana Rabbah. The subjects I want to speak about is the hakafot that we are circling around the bima. When you're doing it in the Bet Knesset, in the time of the Bet HaMikdash, you would circle the mizbeach, the altar. Some people that they pray outside of the Bet Knesset, so they don't have bima, so they can surround their table or something like that. So what all of those circling around is about? First of all, I want to clarify, I just understood that some people that they have this mistake that they think that in the first day doing like one hakafa, and then the second day 2, and the third day 3, and so on, until the Hoshana Rabbah that is 7. No, it's a mistake. Every day we do just 1, and then in Hoshana Rabbah we do 7. We don't have any like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Now, the basic understanding of surrounding the bima, altar, or table will be to connect to the surrounding light that comes from the Pin to Nukba. And the purpose of this surrounding light is very specific, is about protection, to protect the Nukba. And before the unity that takes place in Simchat Torah, Shemini Atzeret, that we're going to speak about further on, so that will be as a preparation for that unity. And then later, after that unity takes place, as we will explain in length in a few moments, so then we have more hakafot of Simchat Torah, which is about protecting the unity that took place, that it will be fruitful. Now, obviously, each one of those subjects, there's so much to speak about that it can be not enough just for one shiur, for actually a few classes, but I'm trying to wrap it up in just few minutes for everybody. Patient span with the help of Hashem. So the next subject I want to speak about shortly is the extra potential of prayers that are done in Hoshana Rabbah and Simchat Torah, because it is a very, very high time for the acceptance of the prayers. And the main reason is because the Hoshana Rabbah, the way that the Arizal explains it, that is the second seal, meaning we had one seal that was kind of closure, which is the prayer of Ne'ilah in the end of Yom Kippur. And Hoshana Rabbah night is actually a continuation of the prayer of Ne'ilah of Yom Kippur. This is the second seal. After the first seal was there, now we have the second seal. And that is super important, because the whole success of this coming year is really depends on how strong will be that unity, and how strong will be the protection to that unity, that the external forces will not be able to grab that light that is created from that unity. So that's what we're doing when we are doing the hakafot, and also that is giving us the understanding of why the prayers are more important, because this is kind of the last opportunity to change the decree that was discussed and decided over Rosh Hashaná and Yom Kippur. So that is the concept that is mentioned as well of the Pitka. People are saying Pita Tova. It's a blessing special for Hoshana Rabbah. To have a good sign, a good, like a note. The notes that are coming out of the heavenly bedding, coming down to this world to be manifested. That procedure is taking place tonight, in the night of Hoshana Rabbah. Again, there's so much more to speak about, but I will just add this extra point for all of the tefillot of the Hoshanot from the beginning of Sukkot, but specifically for the tefillot of Hoshana Rabbah after Shacharit tomorrow. We say Ani vehu Hoshana all along those tefillot. I want to explain to you, give you a little secret about this little sentence of Ani vehu Hoshana. We're praying to Hashem, Hoshana. Hashem, please save us. Right? What is the Ani vehu about? So if you take the 72 names, there's the famous 72 names that many people are speaking about, even though they don't really know what they're talking about. Unfortunately, there's a whole article about it in our website, a few classes that I gave on it. Anyhow, so those 72 names, if you take them and you split them, so instead of 72, it will be 36 in each half. The first one of the 72 names is the letter Vav, the letter K, and the letter Vav. And the 37 combination, which is the first one of the second set of the 36 names, that will be Ani. So when we say Ani vehu Hoshana, we actually referring to the 72 names in a way that those two out of the 72 in a way are in charge and enclose and put all together all of the 72. Now, that kind of confusing for many people, and I want to clarify that even though we say as if 72 names, please save us, but obviously the 72 names are not a source of abundance. They cannot save us themselves. When we are saying that, what we really mean is Hashem, the infinite light that shines within the 72 names. Please save us. Okay? So whenever you meditate on any holy name, have that in mind. All of those holy names are not something that stands for itself. It's not an entity that is disconnected from the system of Hashem that we are connecting with. That is exactly the mistake of our worshiping. So we don't want to go in that route. We want to go exactly in the other direction, the direction of unity. The unity between the infinite light of Hashem, all of the letters, all of the holy names, and all of the creation. And with that, I want to go into the explanation of Simchat Torah, Shemini Atzeret, which is the real closure, the real destination that we started this whole journey of 21 days from Rosh Hashaná until the day of Simchat Torah, Shemini Atzeret. Again, there's so much to speak about, but just I want to... The main thing is that the unity of all of those 21 days is taking place specifically in the Kedusha of Musaf of Shemini Atzeret. So make sure to have this time of your Musaf as much as you can, to be in a minyan with people that are good impact on you, good inspiration for you, that you can connect with them in your heart as much as possible, that it will increase your inspiration for spiritual elevation. and make it more meaningful for you. If you can come to a minyan with a big rabbi, that will give you inspiration, how much more so. It's definitely worth it to go to the mikveh before starting your tefillah in Shemini Atzeret. Whatever it is that you can do to make it that it will be stronger, tefillah, more meaningful, and so on. Because really this is the best time that you can have to really connect with the meaning of all what I spoke about in all of this time, all of this process that we started from Rosh Hashaná. Now, when we look a little bit deeper into the meaning of that unity, so we see an interesting thing, that there is a connection, it's really parallel to what happens in Shavuot. Also there we have unity that takes place in the Kedusha of Musaf, of Shavuot. And that it will be the closure of the 50 days started from Pesach, as we know, through the Sfirat HaOmer. So basically we see that we have two sides of the year, what starts in Nisan, one starts in Tishrei. In Nisan, it's not really in Rosh Chodesh, it's in Tetvav, the middle of the Nisan, but anyhow, starting a process that finishes with unity that takes place in the Tefillah of Musaf, of that holiday in the end. So what will be the difference between them? Which is higher, which is more important? We could say that they're equal, size of the year, but actually the Rashash is telling us that this coming unity of Shemini Atzeret, he calls that Yichud Yud Bet Chodshei Hashanah, the 12 months unity. So that is the unity of the whole year. According to this understanding, it's not two equal halves of the year that each one of them has its own unity. It's actually that this unity of Shemini Atzeret is taking over the whole year. And okay, we need to discuss then what is the meaning of the unity of Shavuot, but that we'll leave when we're coming closer to Shavuot, B'li Neder, with the help of Hashem. But we see definitely that this is something else, more important, higher, stronger, and the question is why. So one way to explain it is to look on the year, the way that the Torah is mentioning the holidays is according to the count of the month. The count of the month is starting in Nisan. Nisan is Rosh Chodesh LaChodashim, Rosh Hashaná LaChodashim, the beginning of the year of the month. So according to that count, now when we are in Tishrei, we're actually in the 7th month. And that's the way we have it in the Kriyat Torah, all through those holidays, all of the sacrifices that we read every day. So when you look at it this way, it comes out to be that actually Pesach is the first holiday of the year, and Shemini Atzeret is actually the last holiday of the year, right? When talking about the Torah holidays, without the Purim and Hanukkah. So when you look at it this way, you understand that really Shemini Atzeret is a closure of the whole year. So really the process didn't start only in Rosh Hashanah, the process really started in Pesach last year. And the next day after tomorrow, that will be the last one of the holidays and the closure of the whole year holiday cycle, in a way. Now, a certain understanding that I already, maybe you heard me saying that, but it's always good to remember that it says that in the future to come, Hashem is doing Machol HaTzadikim, like a dance for the righteous people, that all the righteous people will hold hands and dance in a circle around Hashem. And Hashem is in the middle, and the righteous people are pointing at him and say, Ze Hashem kivinu le. This is Hashem that we were hoping for. Nagil lev nismecha bo. We will be happy with him. We will be joyful with him. Now, obviously, we're talking about spiritual concept that we are trying to use our physical words and understandings to connect and relate to this spiritual concept. Now, what it's all about? We know that the quality of Hashem, the main quality, all the qualities are qualities of Hashem, but the main way that we are hoping and expecting to meet Hashem is with His goodness, simply. To feel the goodness of Hashem. Ta'amu u're'u ki tov Hashem. Says David the Melech, taste and see how good is Hashem. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, many times, really unfortunately, I will say, majority of the times, of majority of the people that lived in this world, we don't see the goodness of Hashem. We see other qualities, to say the least. But we have faith, we are strengthening ourselves with faith that really, with all of this pain, really, it's all coming from love. It's all coming from the goodness of Hashem. Just usually it's not a revealed goodness, usually it is hidden. And the reason is that we need to have this challenge, and we have to go through this challenge with strengthening our faith, simply. But in future to come, the righteous people that strengthen themselves with faith all along this time, they get to the point of the revelation. What is the revelation? The revelation of the goodness of Hashem. How everything was worth it. How everything was designated for that time of revelation. And all of this time of expectation to receive this revelation was worth it for us. All of these times that we needed to strengthen ourselves to get over the whatever it is that we need to get over, and so on. Each one fill in the space according to your challenges of life. It's all worth it because it's all part of this great master plan of Hashem of bringing us to this final closure of the whole creation. So, in other words, the same way that we have the closure of each year with dancing and circling the Sefer Torah in Simchat Torah, we are actually hinting that we are waiting and expecting and hoping to be part of this final dance in the end of the creation, to be able to recognize the goodness of Hashem and to point and to say, yes, that's who I was hoping to meet. That's the quality of the goodness that I was expecting, I was hoping. And even more than that, for sure it will be more than anything that we expected. So I will finish with that and sending you a big blessing to be able to experience all of that, and specifically the last bit of the goodness of Hashem every day of your life, and at least now in this coming holiday of Simchat Torah. And you're welcome to share your experience in the comments, and with the help of Hashem, I will hope to meet you all. Whoever didn't sign up yet for the newsletter that we give all the updates, so please visit our website, KingDavidKabbalah.com. Make sure that you're with us with all of those, using all of those different ways, the newsletter, the WhatsApp groups, and everything that we are sharing, updates and interesting inspirational points from the Kabbalah to increase the light of our life and our experience of the service of Hashem. Thank you, everybody. Shana Tova, Gmar Chatima Tova, the Pita Tova, and Ezrat Hashem will help us all to do our part in this big project which called this creation, this world, to finish it up soon with a full tikkun and meet you all in the next world, in big Bet Midrash. Maybe it will say on top of this Bet Midrash King David's Kabbalah, who knows? Thank you very much for listening. All the blessings.